Hey, yo, what's good, what's good, what's good? Tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 p.m. Western Time, I'm going to be live on the Cristopolis show, man. Big shout out to the West Coast. Big shout out to L.A., man, for showing me love. We're going to be discussing a lot of topics, man. Block Baby, the EP is out right now. We got a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things to cover, man. So tap in with your boy, 8:30 p.m. Cristopolis show, man, live.
From Kissimmee, Florida, comes MC and performing artist Polo Baby Flako. Known for dope lyricism and heartfelt delivery, Polo Baby Flako has been steadily building his presence in the underground hip-hop scene. Fresh off the release of his EP Block Baby Will Block Forever and his project Vaya Con Dios, he continues to push the boundaries of raw, authentic storytelling. He's also known for standout visuals such as Lowercase and No Love in the Jungle, both collaborations with Block Forever, showcasing his cinematic style and creative vision. Polo Baby Flako frequently worked for producer Toast 187, crafting a sound that's both soulful and street-rooted. Tune in to learn about his journey in music, what he's currently working on, and future plans at 5:30 p.m. LA, 8:30 p.m. New York. Let's bring him in.
Yo, what's good, what's good?
Peace, 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 peace. Salute, my brother. It's an honor to have you on.
Yo, thank you, man. Cristopolis, man. Big shout out to you, man. Kissimmee, Florida. We in the building. Florida to LA, LA to Florida, man. It's an honor, man. And I really appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. It's an honor. I've been going through your discography. So much work in so many different ways, right? We got the new joint that you just dropped with the legendary Block Forever. Incredible production. Talk to us about Block Baby, bro.
So right now, man, it's all about that Block Baby, man. You already know what it is. So me, Block Forever, Toast 187, you know what I'm saying? We've been around each other for years, and we finally was like, we got too much heat. We got too many open verses. We got too many beats that's not used. Like, let's put something together. So we all got together, man, and we just made this legendary project, and it's special because we knew throughout the entire process of recording it, writing it, putting it together to now it being released and how it's being how the streets is responding to it is good. It's a wonderful feeling, and yeah, man, it's coming true. It's coming to life.
Yo, that joint, like every single one is a banger. Every
Yeah,
track on there is like a single. To include the
yeah.
intro. To include the intro.
Yeah. Appreciate that. Yeah. Straight fire. And man, me and Block, we've known each other for years. We've been in ciphers together. You know what I'm saying? We've been in the same circles. And anytime that we get together, that energy is real. So we put that project together, and it's a movie, man.
So I gotta ask you probably something that people have already talked to you about. Given that that joint came out so dope and that it's making all this noise, is there gonna be like Block Baby 2?
Stay stay tuned. You know, that's all I can say. You know what I mean? I got a couple projects on the way. Block got a couple projects on the way, so we're gonna be using that momentum to keep going up, and then we're gonna we gonna play the game how it goes. So you know what I'm saying? Just stay tuned. You know what I mean?
So we mentioned that like everything sounds like a single, but you actually did release some visual work and you did some singles, right? So there's lowercase, you in addition to like your lyrics and what you do as an artist, you're highly visual, right? And you have a lot of experience working with the camera and putting together, videos and vlogs and different things like that. Take us behind the scenes of like, some of the visual work for this. Maybe we could start off with lowercase.
Yeah. So for sure now with lowercase. So so I've been rapping my whole life. So that's 20 plus years. But for like the last 5 years, I've been doing camera work. Self-taught, YouTube University. You know what I
That's the
mean?
best
So
one.
yeah, and really for me what happened was you know to shoot videos is expensive, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you want to put a whole production together, a whole movie together and stuff like that. So I just, made the decision to at that point switch careers because I actually put down the mic and just went hard with the camera work. You know what I mean? And one of the things that I do is I treat like all my visuals like how I would see it. So it allowed me to, grow a clientele and actually, the camera business picked up for me. And, I turned on the mic and big shout out to Benny from the Low Lives, Benny Blanco, man.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Benny because he was like, bro, like you gotta start rapping again. And then he introduced me to Toast. So that's how we even got back to, to how we are where we are now. But Yeah, ultimately, yeah, it's just all about when it comes to the visuals, it's just about you know what I'm saying, the approach of the reality. You know what I mean? Like what we really see in real life. So that's what I like to showcase, within the visuals.
Yeah. So for like, given that you do so much camera work, like did you shoot lowercase or did you get somebody else to shoot that? How does that work being a person that does camera work and then you're gonna when you do your own, like there's a lot of rapper producers that don't rap on their own
Right,
beats.
right,
Right?
right,
Like
right.
they'll produce for other people, but they rock over other people's. As a videographer, do you shoot your visuals or do you kind of like get somebody else to do that?
Not to be real, man. Big shout out to my blood, my blood brother, whoever could hold the camera at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like the homie Al, just a lot of the homies that's around. You know what I mean? Anybody that can hold the camera, I kind of direct them in the way that we wanna approach the visual, and then I take care of the editing.
That's dope. And yeah, that editing is just like the mix in music. It's like that's the sauce.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right, right, right. Yeah.
And for people like yourself, artists, if you could drop some gems on maybe like how you got involved in the video work, like what gear you would recommend, like what are you using for camera, what are you using for software, those little gems that you kind of picked up on the way.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? It just really boils down to your budget, but you know what I'm saying? Like what I'm saying? I use a Sony A7 III. You know what I'm saying? And then with the software, I use DaVinci. It's a free program. Anybody can download it. It's real easy to use. And yeah, just really my best piece of advice would be YouTube University. Just whatever questions and ideas that you would think of, just type it into YouTube and there's an answer for it. So, that's basically how I did it.
Yeah. And yeah, your videos look dope. Like that joint on uh the way you pause and you go like this and it'll cut to like a whole different type of image, just like the film type image, like real nice subtle details that are different than that's the flavor, right? That's
Right, yeah,
the way
right,
you
right,
do it.
right, man. And nowadays, especially that transition for me into camera work at the time, and how I balance it out now that I'm doing music and visuals. But ultimately everything is content driven, so it's visual. You know what I mean? So um, if you have dope visuals, that's how you're gonna continue to garner people's attention and keep them locked in. So 2025, we got plenty of visuals coming, way more work coming. So just get used to it, man. Get comfortable.
That's dope, bro. And the production, you talked about Toast 187. I see Toast 187 right here up in the
Big shout
chat.
out the homie in the
Yeah, big
building.
shout out. Production's crazy, but production goes
Movie.
bananas. This is the second project, at least on the in the recent discography that you've done with Toast 187. Talk to us about how you connected with him. What that was like. How he basically inspired you to pick up the pen and the mic.
Right, right. Yeah, man, not for sure. So, really, the homie Benny from the Low Lives, you know what I'm saying? We always communicated frequently, and he told me about the whole low life movement. I've been, with Polo for my whole life. So, he told me, he's like, hey, man, like I got, what I'm saying, I got some real solid people, man, producers, a network of people, man. I want to introduce you to the homie Toast. You know what I'm saying? And I linked up with Toast. He sent me the first set of beats, and it was like. It was just,
You
it was
blew you blew the
over.
dust off the pen. It
Yeah,
just spilled out.
yeah, exactly. And actually, what I'm saying, I believe we actually have three projects, me and Toast. We got Final Form. So Final Form
Oh
was the
yeah.
first project that I dropped with Toast, and that was kind of like my first project in years, or like I think like maybe like a good 2 year hiatus I took. But yeah, man, I dropped the Final Form, and then we followed up with the Vaya Con Dios. You know what I'm saying? Go
Yeah.
with God, and now we're here with the Block Baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Even busy. What was it like, after stepping away for a little bit and then coming back over Toast production? Because you've got a lot of experience and you actually have a prolific discography, right? But it was a little bit different from Toast sound. Right, so you had, like a more some trap and some different types of a different type of urban music, and then Toast came out with his sound, right? I don't even want to categorize it, but it's dope. He's a very high level producer working with incredible MCs. What was it like to like come back to the mic?
Nah, man, it was. was a wonderful feeling, man. And I mean, really, with Toast made it easy. Like the doper the beat is, to me it's the easier job for me. You know what I mean? Like it don't complicate it for me. I feel like once I hear the beat, the beat already tell me which direction I'm gonna go in. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. For a good portion of my time, because I'm Jersey born, but Kissimmee, Florida
Yeah.
raised. So that trap music runs through me as well. Big influences. Jeezy, Gucci, Ti. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those cats too. And but my favorite MCs is Hove, Pun, and Pusha T. So you
Yeah.
know that
Lyricist.
I was taught base. My foundation is lyricism. You know what I'm saying? So once I connected with Toast, it was just like it was really like riding a bike. You know what I mean? Because I did, to your point, I did run through the trap lane for a while, and I have some trap projects as
Yeah, you
well,
got a good
and I have some trap projects
discography.
on the way as well too. But when anytime I get with Toast, it's like it's cinematic. It's like it's
Yeah.
movie. It's next level. You know what I mean? So I would love to just shoot a visual to every track me and Toast got. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and for talking about Toast, to unpack that a little bit and to give him his flowers, you've got another incredible project that's also a new project. I mean, that you dropped it not that long ago. You're
Yeah,
working, you
yeah,
know what I'm saying, which is the
yeah.
Vaya Con Dios,
Right,
right? Talk
right,
to us
right.
about the Vaya Con Dios.
Yeah, man. Vaya Con Dios is it's a solo project. I think the only feature on there is Block, which is one of the records that
That's
Toast
such
produced. Toast
a
produced.
dope record, right? The prayers joint,
Yeah, the
that
prayer.
joint is so fire.
Yeah, appreciate that, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah, nah, brother. So yeah, we got that the Vaya Con Dios, man, and it's go with God, man. I was raised Catholic. You know what I'm saying? Church. Dominican family household. You know what I'm saying? So, I've always been intertwined with heaven and hell. You know what I mean? God. You know what I'm saying? And on deeper levels of that aspect of it. So I connect that with the streets and you know what I'm saying with the music. So we put that all together, and that's how we got the Vaya Con Dios. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so you had the first project with them, then you kept cooking,
Right,
and then the Vaya con Dios came.
right, right.
Right, how did that? So talk to us about that relationship, right? So like he basically, you're connecting with the low lives. You're introduced to Toast. You do the first joint, that joint's banging. You do the second joint, right? Like talk to us about the relationship and how the projects just kept coming and what's coming next.
Well, the beauty of it is that our relationship is like real, like it's like we brothers. You know what I'm saying? We laugh, we disagree on things. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? We still always come back to a medium, and we always come to a mutual understanding. So that's how we got these multiple projects because, especially in the industry, there's so many different things going on and moving parts that people can be disconnected.
Yeah,
And anytime that we've even gotten, there was never that. You know what I'm saying? There was never that type of issue. We always come to an understanding, and that's the best part of our relationship because we can say, "Yo, I don't, how this hook, do this hook a little bit different," or you know, make a change on this beat or whatever, and we don't have no issue. We get it. We make the changes and we make that better quality music.
yeah,
So, from final form to how, like, if you even look at it from a production, lyrical, every type of aspect, if you listen to final form to Vaya Con Dios to Block Baby, you can see how polished that Block Baby is
yeah,
compared to even the other two projects. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Um, but it's a beautiful relationship, man, and we got so much more in store.
That's dope, bro. And on Block Baby, right, you took us behind the scenes in the vlog.
Yeah.
You actually have you recording it. You got Block recording it. Shout out Block that I just saw up in here, right? You guys are taking us behind the scenes. It's really like a mini documentary.
Yeah, for sure. Big time. Yeah, we got another vlog on the way, so stay tuned for that. And then we got the Low Life weekend coming up in Orlando this weekend. So it's gonna be a movie, and we're gonna turn that into something. So stay tuned.
Yeah, so that's like, you got the vlog aspect of the behind the scenes and the making of Block Baby, right? You got Low Life Weekend. You're a performer, but you're also a videographer. Are you just busy? Are you just like, like planning the performance, planning the interviews, planning the? Is it like, are you doing all of it?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So it's a lot of hats that got to be worn, but I mean, outside of this, like the camera work. So the beauty of the camera work is it's not just rap videos, like
Yeah.
weddings, birthday parties.
That
So
wedding money,
like,
bro, that wedding money, that quinceañera money.
listen, bro, it's next level, man. It's just the beauty of opening my mind. I honestly humbling myself because when you're a rapper, bro, like you don't to be behind the camera
Yeah.
is different. You know what I'm saying? And I've experienced that in the camera world because it's cameraman, and it's like, hold on, slow down. Ain't no cameraman. You know what I'm saying? Like, so balancing all of that out has been a journey, but yeah, man, just doing it like that.
That's dope. In regards to the upcoming weekends, a massive weekend with the who's who in hip hop flying into Orlando, the what they're putting together at this moment, the different low life events are some of the biggest events in hip hop. Period. Hard stop. You know what I'm saying? Tell me about like what your plans are for the low life weekend and how you're going to be contributing.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm gonna be in the building. Ever since Benny connected me with the Low Lives, man, we just been, different partnerships. You know what I'm saying? On the background, you see I have a platform called Cipher Sundayz. So we do interviews, rap mic videos, documentary style. That's all within the video production aspect of what I produce. So we're gonna have the cameras in the building, and then I'm also gonna be campaigning, Block Baby, networking, building, and just also reuniting with the bros, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a lot of love, a lot of good
Big
connects.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
T- Talk to us about Cypher Sunday. Unpack that a little bit so that we make sure that we plug it and people know where to go and what they could look forward to, and maybe if there's artists to come across, just how to connect.
Oh, absolutely, man. Thank you, and I appreciate that,
Absolutely,
man.
brother.
Yeah. So the Cipher Sundays, I started it last year. It's also another aspect of trying to build a community. You know what I mean? In my city, Kissimmee, Orlando, and just really bring dope acts together. So it started with just kind of the structure was we bring in artists, we interview them, they perform one of their current singles, and then they do a cipher. They spit a hot 16 bars. So we did season one last year, a lot of ups and downs, and then season two we kind of like transitioned to more of an open platform. So now we do like either meetups. We were able to lock in a KRS-One interview. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. I
We
saw I saw something on
yeah.
your page, but it's hard to figure out. Like, was he at an event or was it? But it's your
Yeah,
joint. This
yeah.
is your joint.
Absolutely, yeah. Cypher Sunday. Big shout out to Mad Ills. You know what I'm saying? Dope MC, and he's a host. He be networking. He's somebody very wears different hats as well. So we connected, and we was able to lock in the KRS-One interview. That led to the Master Killer show. We was able to film that, and then the Currency show. We was able to film that. So it went from like rap meetups to filming bigger acts to now we're even looking at throwing our own events where we bring in the act. Stay tuned for that as well for Cypher Sundays Fest.
That's dope. I like that. And the site for Sunday, the light, the neon joint, that looks dope.
Yeah, appreciate that, man. That's all, just subtle branding, marketing, trying to, again, just balancing it all
Yeah,
out because,
bro.
even with Low Life Weekend, it was almost like, am I going to be Cypher Sundays on Saturday, this weekend, or am I be Polo Baby? Who I'm going to be? You know what I'm saying? So, well, we figured out we got a way to do it all, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And we're going to do it all.
yeah. That's dope. That's dope. For people who want to like tune in and watch Cypher Sunday, where can they watch it? Where does it go? Where is it posted?
Absolutely, yeah. So the YouTube channel, we have a YouTube channel. Cipher Sundays is exactly, how it's said is how it's spelled. Sundays with a Z. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? Cipher Sundays, and then we have the Instagram. So on the Instagram, we're always posting, stories and just really it's not all have to be through my platform. If an artist dropped a new music video, we'll share everything. And we just trying to just build. You know what I mean? Build. It's bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than me. It's about all of us.
Yeah, yeah. It's really dope because it's like one of the things that like I feel that I learned like about you in doing research is you build it. You'll just build it. Like if you need camera work, you'll go get a camera and learn how to do it.
Yeah.
If you need a platform, you go build your
Right.
platform.
Right.
If you know what I'm saying, You want to drop records, you're gonna make your records. If you need some low, you're gonna go work at the low. You know what I'm saying?
You know what
So
I'm saying?
it's yeah.
If you know,
So
you know.
yeah, so it's like that's an incredible quality, bro. Yeah,
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Because that's how
Years
you
in the
gotta be in
making.
life. Ain't nobody gonna do it for you.
And that's what I learned on this road, man. Even paid. Sometimes, even spending money, you still not gonna get the results that you really want. So it's ups and downs, man, and just it's all part of the game.
Yeah, that's dope. You you also have a unique talent that, in addition to dropping bars, we talked about the variety of urban music that you've been able to do, but you could sing too. You on some hooks.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, that is like dabbling, like I never really full fledged really busted out the singing all the way, but in due time, you know what I mean? Just
Because I'm studying
gradually.
discography, and I'm like, oh, that's Polo right
Yeah.
there.
Couple bops, man. Couple bops. We're gonna bring that back too, man. We're gonna bring the bops back too. We got bars, trap, club for the ladies. We're gonna give them all.
Dope, bro. That's dope. Now you did kind of mention that there's work coming. What can you share with us that's like upcoming? Because you got the Block Baby joint that just dropped, right? I mean, this joint is still hot, right? The food is still hot. Incredible project with Block Forever. Dope visuals out everywhere. New project, but you got more work coming. What can you share with us in regards to what's coming next in 2025?
Yeah. So for Block Baby, get used to that because we're gonna get more visuals. We're gonna do more. We're gonna do scoping out maybe doing an album release party. We're gonna utilize. It's not microwave music, you know what I mean? So we're gonna make sure that everybody fully digests that project.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna make sure that everybody fully digests that project, and then, what I'm saying, we'll you're still gonna get music along the way, but for right now, it's just really all about that Block Baby.
Yeah, and it had from the covers where you were like babies, and then you also had like the Master P joint, like the right
Yeah,
the Cash
yeah.
Money joint.
Cash Money vibe, yeah.
Talk to us about the like the like the cover work and the thought
Yeah.
behind that.
Yeah, man, and it's crazy because we got another cover for the project, so we're gonna keep giving y'all twists and surprises with this project. So, but even behind those two covers was, what I'm saying, we let the people decide. We put the video, we put it out there on like Facebook, Instagram, social medias, and we just asked the people like what would they like, which cover would they like, and it was crazy because we tallied up all the votes, and the it was the Cash Money one that everybody liked the most.
Yeah, yeah, it's dope. It's because it looks like a real Cash Money
Yeah,
joint. That's how they used to
yeah,
make them look.
yeah. So that one got the most votes, but I think it was probably like, in all honesty, probably like 30 votes. But it was like 20. It was like by one vote that people got wanted the block the Cash Money. So there was still like 18. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
However
I mean
much
it's like right
votes
there. Yeah,
still wanted that baby. So we was like, and then some of the people that DJ who what hold on, he like the baby one. So even some names that like we getting some good attention with this project,
yeah,
and we see, I'm seeing the traffic, and even with that, even with the voting, some people I never thought would even watch my page
yeah, yeah.
voted and was like, oh, you like the Block Baby, so he's like, let's just do it for both. So for Apple Music and certain DSPs, you get the Cash Money cover, and then for YouTube and the other ones, we got both covers out there.
Oh, that's
Yes,
dope.
so you'll
So
see
is
both of
there
them.
one that's an official? That's like the official? Or are they all official?
They all official. It's not, we didn't step on no work. It's all raw.
That's dope.
So, you know what I'm saying? And we got some more surprises, some more gems. We're gonna do some more giveaways too. We did a T-shirt giveaway for the first Block Baby. Just the Polo Baby T-shirts. But we're also gonna have some Block Baby merch that we're gonna be doing some giveaways for the people.
That's dope because you said that there's a third cover coming.
And it's another cover coming, man. It's dope,
Right, because that's
fire.
like a whole. You could do the whole marketing all over again. Just run the whole marketing again.
we're gonna make sure that people get the full course meal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, that's dope, bro.
Yeah, for sure, brother.
We could go a little bit deeper into your discography. You have another project that you released to the world recently, quasi recently, right? Which is uh old for me, new to you, right?
Okay, yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That was
But
that's a
wait, so talk to us about that project. Is that like a compilation? Is that like what's the story behind that joint?
yeah, absolutely, man. That joint right there, bro. I got like 200. I got like a lot of songs.
Yeah.
So at that moment, I was just like, let me just throw. There's good, when I get back to it, there'll be an O for me, new to you too. O for me, like we can make part twos, part threes, sequels, like all that. So at that moment and at that time, I was like, let me just put some bangers that I've recorded throughout the years together and just drop a project just to give people something.
Got it. So it was like different projects that you'd released and you
Not
kind of took
nah,
oh
unreleased music.
unreleased.
Yeah, unreleased. Yeah, I got like 200 songs.
Unreleased.
I got 200, like probably like 200. Oh, for sure over 100 songs.
Wow.
Big time. And that's all facts. Like, you know what I'm saying? But don't get it. I don't want to. It sounds crazy, but it's not like some of them not full songs though. Some may be like hook verse
Yeah,
hook. A hook there, but all it's really is like yo block. Like, boom. Let me get a second verse on that. And then we can do however many EPs we can stretch it out.
that's dope, bro. That's dope. Got it. So like that was kind of like between you were like doing things. You're like, let me just collect some of these joints that I got, and I'm gonna release it for them.
Yeah, facts. Yeah,
That's
facts.
dope. That's dope, bro. And the other thing I wanted to ask you about is in Orlando, in Kissimmee, it's real interesting because it's become a hip hop hub. There's so much happening there in regards to hip hop producers, events, DJs, right? It's in that connection between Orlando and New York, right? And then it's in the South and then Miami. So it's kind of like this melting pot, right, of hip hop with New York influence, right? You're from New Jersey also, right? That whole area. Talk to us about the hip hop scene in Kissimmee and Orlando, and also with your show, right? Cipher Sundays. How it all comes together. How big it's gotten.
Yeah, well, so with the Cipher Sundays, we're still growing it. You know what I mean? But as far as Orlando, Kissimmee as a whole, like with the hip hop scene, is grown so much because Orlando in general is already a destination.
Yeah,
So we have now not only we have celebrities here already. We have big names here. There's always been people here and there's always been people in and out here. But now we're getting more homegrown talent to where now it's starting to now people come to Orlando and they integrating with what's actually going on in the city. You know what I'm saying? So like now when KRS-One comes in, he's not in and out. He's in. He's politicking. He's network. He's in with us, and then he
yeah,
you know he keeps it moving. But um, that's the difference between before and now.
yeah,
And that's what's making everything more important because now we shaking the right hands. We know who we need to know now.
yeah. And big infrastructure, right? You got like the Beer Commission, Iron Cow, there's studios, and then there's studios just in urban, right? Like this, like even with reggaeton and MC Seha's got a compound, right? There's like all sorts of infrastructure where you could go shoot a video, where you can hold an event, where you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
LA is like that, right? There's a lot of
Right.
infrastructure where you can make things happen. And
Right.
and and as a videographer, not only do you get to participate in that, but you're a part of
Right.
that.
Right, and that's what's allowed me to network because the the camera has gotten me in rooms that I wouldn't have gotten in as a rapper. So the camera has been tremendous. You know what I mean? Because I could be with this DJ following him around with the camera, but then he through the networking, politicking, now I'm still getting the music
Yeah,
out. So it's multifaceted.
yeah, yeah. So many gems, bro. So many gems. And in regards to, that camera work and the editing and everything, um, who do you have like influences, right? Like, are you really into movies? Are there certain directors that you're really into? Are there videographers that you love this videographer? Because that's a lot of the learning. We learn music by listening to artists that we love. You break the tape, right? You listen to that album like 1,000 times. Has
Mm-hmm.
that been for you, like with the editing?
Um, well, as far as like directors go, the only director that I've ever like looked at and try to emulate to an extent is Kid Art. Uh, Kid Art, he did a lot of Pusha T's visuals. Um, he's done. I think he did 504 and a couple cats, but he has more of a dark, gritty um approach to his videos. But outside of that, I just really get like influences from different people because, you know, rap rap is my core. So like that's why
Yeah,
I'm more passionate. The camera work, I don't want to use the word passion. It's more so like more so logic, more business. Like it's made me more into trying to use the camera to generate income.
yeah.
So it's a little bit different. So it's more so like I just draw influences from different people versus like have this huge passion for for music videos, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Like, and you're really sharing so much wisdom, right? Because it's one thing if you're doing like a video like you just shot, right? um uh the work that you're doing in Block Baby, right? So you got the visuals and that's yours, right? You got a certain style and a flavor and you got a cinematic way you want to approach the song. But if you get hired for a wedding, you have to know how to give them what they
Yeah.
want. Right? You got and that's not passion, that's like business savvy. You
Right.
want them to tell a friend, right? So you gotta like study all that.
Right. Yeah, and a lot of it, man, is just it's really it's also putting yourself in like the mindset of like how would you want to be seen. So that's how I edit. When I edit, I'm like, how would have want if I'm at this wedding, if I'm the one getting married, how what you know what angles would want to be seen in, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like a high level of empathy,
Yeah.
right? You gotta kind of feel what the other person's feeling and be able to give that.
Right. Yeah, and that comes from the music because again, when I listen to different beats, I get a feeling for each different type of beat. So that's allowed me to be versatile.
Yeah, that's dope, bro. You share with us some of your favorite MCs, right? Uh, Jay-Z, Pusha T, Big Pun. Um, but you're Dominicano, right? You're in Kissimmee. What other musical influences do you have, beyond hip hop or within hip hop, right? Because there's that golden era boom bap sound, but there's other sounds that you're interested. Talk to us a little bit about other music and other influences that you have.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, not for sure. Like bachata. I'm Dominican, so I was raised to bachata
Yeah, right.
merengue.
If you're at a party, you're not gonna be sitting down.
I'm a busted that real talk. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, real talk. So simple as that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, for sure like bachata, merengue. I like rock. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I have an open ear to music. Like if it's hot, it's hot. You can't really deny. You really can't deny what's good music. So I've always been conscious of good music. You know what I'm saying? Freestyle. You know what I'm
Freestyle
saying? Uh,
back, bro. That joint everywhere in LA, people just cruising to
you know.
freestyle.
I mean, so that techno, dubstep, everything. I listen to everything. You know what I mean? So I don't always listen to hip hop, and when it comes to hip hop, like I listen to a wide variety as well. I'll listen to what I'm saying, trap music. I'll listen to mumble rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has their style. I can listen to something with an open mind and be like, you know, because a lot of people there's always been that divide between the lyrical artists and the trap artists, and even in Orlando because you got like West Orlando, which is a whole entire sound in its own. It's an entire world in its own, you
Wow.
know what I'm saying? And there's big acts, there's artists that are being recognized nationwide coming out of West Orlando, you know what I'm saying? And hip hop is in Orlando, East, North, it's all over Orlando as well. But just just all those different styles, you know, they all combine, and I'm influenced by all of them. You know, if I hear something hot, I want to try it out too. You know what I mean? But that's just
Yeah.
basically my approach to
I
it.
feel like hip hop is big now, like genres like rock and jazz, right? And where there's so many subgenres that it's just a massive genre now where you've got, you know, everything that's from the old school 80s, 90s, 2000s, right? But then you've got like the trap and the mumble rap and right now you got, you know, all the stuff coming out of England. Who would have thought, you know what I'm saying, that they'd come over and like, you know, like the New York rappers would be trying to sound like some London cats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But it's wild like that. It's the hip hop is so massive now, and it really comes down to the artist, the beat, with like the specific
right,
song. That could be a dope mumble rap song. There could be a dope anything,
right.
really. It's who delivers it, how they deliver it, where you're at, the energy you're looking for. You know what I'm saying?
Real talk. No, and I 100% agree, bro. Is nowadays, man, it's open, and it's really like you can't. There's not that one way. You know what I'm saying? There's not that one way of what's hot or not. You know what I mean? There's so many different flavors, and to your point, you know, even London, like. So, I'm connecting with some of the producers on some of these previous projects are from like Russia. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like I got, you know, I got a few records from a producer out in Russia. You know what I mean? I got producer, you know, in London right now that we're connecting. You know what I mean? So the beauty of the internet is that we're all
yeah.
connected.
Yeah. What's interesting about England, specifically London, is that in New York, when you really go back and study, you know, so many of the greats, there's a West Indies influence,
Hmm.
specifically Jamaica and the West Indies.
Hmm.
And they've got that influence in London too. So it's manifesting in a different way over there,
Yeah,
right? But they got that crazy energy. I don't know what that is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, you know,
it's
right?
evolution.
It's an
It's
evolution,
evolution.
but it's still that, you know, and obviously Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic and right, and then that dembo sound and
Dembo's
this whole,
crazy.
yeah, that whole everything.
Dembo's crazy. Yeah, so I had a Dembo record that I dropped, man, a long time ago, man. But I gotta revisit my roots, man, and drop some Dembo, man.
Yeah, yeah, it's good. Hey, can nothing turn up the party like that for real?
Yeah, real
Especially,
talk.
you know what I'm saying. If you want the girls to dance, you know what
You
I
know what
mean?
I'm saying? Real talk,
Yeah.
real talk.
Do you do any work, you know, separate from the genres of music? Um, do you do anything in Spanish?
I have I've done Spanish records. I haven't released anything that's like a full Spanish
Yeah,
record,
yeah,
but as I gradually progressed through, you know, this resurgence of like Polo Baby, because even Polo Baby, like before my rap name was D Star. You know what I'm saying? So this Polo Baby's a rebrand. You know what I mean? I've gone through like several rebrands,
yeah,
but this
yeah,
is the final form. So
yeah,
you know, progressively you're gonna get more of those records as time progresses, and I integrate myself back with the music
yeah.
world.
Yeah, that's dope, bro. You're an amazing talent behind the camera, on the mic. You know, we talked about how you can also carry a note. You know what I'm saying? And
Thank
there's
you.
so many dimensions between um, uh, carrying the note, dropping the raps, dropping them in different subgenres of hip hop, and
Right,
then
right.
there's a whole multilingual. There's a whole multilingual aspect to it. So that's dope. My bro, we've been unpacking Block Baby, right? The new project that's out with you and Block Forever. You announced there's a third cover dropping, and you also shared that there's gonna be some merch. Is there anything that you can share with us about the merch that's coming up?
Now, as soon as that merch drops, it's gonna be we'll start it off with a giveaway. You know what I'm saying? So you know, we're gonna make sure that we bless people first, and then we'll roll it out as far as like where you can purchase the merch.
Thing. That's dope, bro. And any gems you want to drop as we start to wrap up, you know, you have an incredible perspective on you don't wait for nobody. You know what I'm saying? You go out and you create it, whether it's the video work, whether it's recording, whether it's creating a platform for yourself and for other artists, right? What gems can you leave with us?
Yeah, I mean the best piece of advice, man, I could say would be there's people out here that's doing more with less. So I use that as my filter when I'm moving and grooving. There's people that's doing more with less.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's really words to live by.
Yeah, real
Yeah,
talk, man.
yeah, brother. As we start to wrap up, any shout outs you want to give?
Man, big shout outs to my family, man. Big shout outs to my mama. Big shout outs to my wife, my family, my kids. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Block Forever. Big shout out to Toast 187. Big shout out to Benny, the Low Lives. Big shout out to my brother P. Ville. You know what I'm saying? Don Prophet, all my Cipher Sundayz brethren. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to the city of Kissimmee. And big shout out to Orlando, man. And big shout out to y'all, man. Big shout out to you, Cristopolis, man. I really appreciate the time, man, and the energy, and definitely taking the time to listen to my music, man. It really means a lot, man, because again, I've been in and out of the game, and you know, with just having this conversation is more motivation to just get back into it and give y'all another 200 songs.
Yeah, brother. You're a tremendous talent, bro. It's an honor to have you on the show. I can't wait to see the third album cover and all the work you got coming up next. Polo Baby
Yeah.
Flako, it's an honor to have you on, my bro.
Yo, thank you,
Salute.
man. Have a blessed night, man.
You too. Salute.
All right.